Hi, I'm Dom. I'm a classroom teacher, and that means I'm really busy, but I'm also trying to collect data all the time for myself, exercise, things that I eat, and professional development, like projects that I'm working on, like my timesheet. So, because I don't always want to have my phone in my hand, I don't want to like open apps and like be typing and stuff. I recorded this voice to spreadsheet automation using iOS shortcuts and the IFTTT service and Google Sheets. So I'm going to show you how it works, and then I'm going to show you how to build it. So, hey Siri,
Hmm?
log data. Ignore this, I'll explain why.
Category,
Exercise.
data,
10 squats.
anything else to note?
No. Okay. So you can see that the data showed up right away. And then I have my automation automatically opening the spreadsheet on my phone in case I do want to make an edit or change something. Um, so this is how it works. On iPhone, it uses the Shortcuts app, and the shortcut is called log data. So I'm going to click these three dots. And here are the steps. The first one is automatically generated. You can't edit it or delete it, you just ignore it. But basically, it means the shortcut is not waiting for external data in order to function. And then the second one's pretty important. When I initiate the shortcut with Siri, Siri wants to hold on to the conversation. But what I want is to dismiss Siri because I want my voice interactions to now be with the shortcut. This block is where I said, ignore this, I'll explain later. And here's the explanation. 99% of the time, there's a bug where shortcuts will not play your first speak block. But I want my first speak block to say category. I don't want it to be random. So you have to put some kind of block here to make the app do something in order to make this run. And I've tried play a sound, open a file, like I've tried other stuff, and this is the one that works. And I find it very annoying, but it does the job. But then, as you saw, we do something 3 times. We have a voice prompt category, and then I get to say something, that's dictate text. And then I hold that thing that I said, or that string of characters that is the text, I hold that text in a variable called category. The second one is called data, and the third variable is called notes. And then here's where the fun part happens. This block says contents, get the contents of a URL. So basically, we're not getting, the method is actually post. But this URL is something that we'll program right now to do something with the data that we sent. And that data, the data category and notes, is packaged as a JSON object. It's just a format of characters and letters. And then the Shortcuts app sends it over the internet to this webhook, and then this webhook knows what to do. I finish my interaction by playing a sound, beep, and then opening the spreadsheet. So here's how it works. On your computer, you're going to go to the IFTTT service, which is free. You can create an account, and we're going to choose webhook. So this technology is going to receive a web request. We're going to call this practicing logging, and we'll create that trigger. And then we're going to have Google Sheets do the next part. Now, there's a certain amount of risk to putting all of your information on the internet and using these free services. They are spying on you, on everything. So in the future, if you are logging that you eat unhealthy foods or are taking risks, there's some insurance companies definitely going to try to deny you health care or insurance. So keep in mind that they're sniffing, like the robots and the corporations are generally, and the government, anyway, it's not safe. So keep that in mind. I'm going to call this spreadsheet practicing logging. It's not going to exist until this automation runs. The first time it runs, it's going to actually create this spreadsheet. Sorry, I just mentioned data sniffing, so you might need a moment to emotionally recognize that it sucks that nothing is actually free, and that they tell you it's free and it's fun and it's easy, and I'm probably part of that. But it's still good to learn how tools work, because this is how automations work. You can use them to your advantage, but you should always know the risks. Okay, back to the automation. So we're going to call this spreadsheet practicing logging, and we're going to give it 3 pieces of information: value 1, value 2, and value 3. This occurred at, this is a timestamp that is going to come from the IFTTT service itself. We could do it in the Shortcuts app, but it's nice to do it in IFTTT, because if the Shortcuts app is broken, my shortcut gets messed up, I'm troubleshooting it, it's still nice to see the timestamps, because IFTTT can still do its part of the job, even if this is requiring troubleshooting. So I'm going to keep this, and then these values are really sus, because the values we can see in the Shortcuts app are lowercase, but these are uppercase. It's annoying, but this does actually work. And then this event name, we're not using it, so I just delete it. These 3 bars, as you can see down here, just separate the cells. So 1 cell, 2 cell, 3 cells. And then this path is saying, on your Google Drive, where do you want to put this new spreadsheet? If it is opinionated, they want to put it in these 2 folders. I'm just going to say yes. Let the service keep my folders organized. I'm going to leave the title same thing. Automated, you could customize that. It's just a title. So when I click finish, that's where we get the fun part. Down here now we have a webhook URL. I'm going to use this on my phone. So to send it to myself, I usually text it on Google Voice. And then here in Google Voice, I grab my new webhook. So I copied the link, or the URL, and then in the Shortcuts app, I'm going to click on this plus. I'm going to create a new shortcut. I'm going to give it a name called rename practicing logging. Good. And then I'm going to select get contents of URL. That URL is, you guessed it, exactly what we just copied. The method is going to be not get, but post. And then the request body, I'm going to use 3 text blocks. Text, text, text. Here, they're going to be called value 1, value 2, value 3. And here, I'm not going to take dictation. I'm just going to say, hi, bye, wee. Okay, say done. I think that's going to work. This file doesn't exist yet, so when I go to recents, the file does not exist. The spreadsheet does not exist. But, hey Siri.
Huh?
Practicing logging. Just wants permission to open Chrome. There it is. Now the spreadsheet exists, and it should say hi bye we. Now I'm going to tap this automation to run it again. There goes hi bye we. One more time. Hi bye we. So it works. You did it. So I'm going to add some column headers here because I want to know what all these pieces of data are. Every row represents an incident, represents something that we logged, and you don't want to use generic variable names. So if your data is more meaningful than hi bye we, it will probably say something like, what did you eat? Is it a vegetable or dessert or whatever, and something else, whatever you're logging. Mine, again, says data, category, and notes. Okay, that's it. It works. I hope you have fun with that.